And we'll wrap up with head coach Seb Hines. Seb, finishing up Summer Cup, 3 shootouts. Pretty decent match tonight. Just give us your thoughts on following the match.
Yeah, we've had a lot of practice with penalties. So, yeah, that puts us in a good position moving forward. I think, looking back, it's been a really good test for us, especially with so many players away on international duty. It allowed us to, give other players an opportunity to go out there and perform and still stay at a high standard. See where players are at. It's very difficult trying to replicate real games, competitive games, and this tournament has allowed us to do that. So I think we're in a really good position going into the regular season now and where everyone is and still continue to have that high standard that we set early on in the season.
What else?
Seb, you've talked a lot about just getting players minutes, and now you go back into the regular season with a lot of questions just in terms of who are you going to pick. Players have had some very good moments in this tournament and have proved that they're of the caliber of NWSL. How do you kind of go about now trying to figure out when all the Olympians get back, how you kind of fit these other players into the lineups?
Yeah, that's a challenge, right? I think we just need to get everyone back into our environment. There's still players representing their countries right now and going for gold. But getting them back in the environment, making sure that we're all together in what we want to achieve towards the end of the season. And it shows that, if anything happens, because, a lot of things have happened even in this season, players getting injured, suspensions, whatever it is, we know that we've got players that we can rely on and still do a job. And that, to be fair, has happened all season long. But I think getting them, more minutes rather than 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. Some players have played like full 90s, some have played 70 minutes. And so their roles have changed throughout this tournament as well. So, yeah, it's going to be really important that, we have a good core group of players. And I've said from the start, it's not just about the 11 players that are starting. It's about, the full roster and how players can contribute, even if it's like 5 minutes towards the end and we have to see a game out. We know that we've got players there who we can rely on and get the job done.
Kind of going off of that, this tournament we've seen 2 rookies in Corey Dyke and Alex Kerr who haven't seen very much time during the regular season. Now that we've gotten through this tournament, can you kind of tell us how you felt about their performances?
Yes, Corey is probably taken over the Swiss Army knife role. She's played her debut at left wing, and then she's played midfield, she's played left back, she's played right back, and today she played centre back, and she did a tremendous job at centre back. And yeah, she's a really good footballer. She wears her heart on her sleeve and she gives maximum effort, but she has a lot of quality as well. So again, we know we can put her in positions and she's going to give her a all. I think that can also be to her detriment as well, that she can play multiple positions as well. So you never get really fixed in one position. But yeah, I thought she was tremendous this tournament, and she's come in and had some standout performances. And same as Alex, she came in as a striker. We've played a striker. We've played her left wing as well. She's had a lot of success on that left wing. Last week she took a goal really well. We felt it was another opportunity for her to build on that. And I thought there was moments in today's game where she was really good.
So I just wanted to ask you about Ali Lemos. Talked about her last game as well, just how commanding she is in the midfield, how calm she is on the ball. Again, another very solid performance in midfield. Just how important has she been over this tournament, and especially getting her the minutes that she's been needing as a young player, especially now heading into the rest of the season?
Yeah. Again, with all these young players, it's a process, right? So, again, with Ali Lemos, she started a couple of games. She's come off the bench in a couple of games. She's had some starts this tournament. And yeah, everyone can see her qualities. There's still areas that she can still build on, but she's in a really good place right now. And yeah, it's another player who's getting a lot of exposure to some really physical teams as well. You look at tonight, she's playing against Taylor Flynn, Jalen Howell, Ari Borges. They're no pushovers. So yeah, she'll only just continue to grow, and we're excited to see where that leads her.
Counting all 3 games from the Summer Cup, all draws.
Yeah.
Adding into the regular season, you're now 19 unbeaten.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When you put that into perspective of just how this team, despite all the challenges in the beginning of the season with the defense and shifting things around, to now playing without essentially 7 players that are off at the Olympics and still getting results. I mean, how does that kind of sound for you, just putting it in all in perspective?
Yeah, and against like some high quality teams as well. Going to North Carolina is no easy game. I think the rest of the league know that. I think playing a team like Monterey, who were the champions last year, and then playing a good Louisville team who have shown a lot of quality in the last couple of games as well, without losing many players also this tournament. So again, like I said, it's been a really good challenge for a lot of our players here, getting that exposure and challenging themselves against some really top opposition. It is very pleasing for me because, again, I'm big on standards and I'm big on, our identity, and I don't want that to drop regardless of who's on the field. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of players away on international duty, players coming in, taking their opportunity and still playing to a high standard, getting results. I still think, there's been games, especially the 2 at home, where we can play better. But I'll give, the players the benefit of the doubt. It's a new team really coming together. That chemistry wasn't quite there. But their attitude's first class. And, towards the end of the game, when you've got, 10 players on the field and still manage to see it out and take it to penalties, that's really pleasing for me and the rest of the staff.
Evelina Dion, she, apart from scoring the goal, she also was involved in quite a few build-ups in the final third. Can you just talk about her play tonight?
Yeah. Again, could she build on what she did last week? I thought she was tremendous last week. And so I think, going into the next game, it's always the most challenging game for yourself individually because you set such a high bar in that first game. You don't want it just to be a one-off. And I think, as the game went on, she built that confidence. She took the ball in difficult areas. She's another one that we had to move into midfield, which is a position she's not too comfortable with. But again, she took the ball under pressure. She managed to find outlets defensively, as well. Like you have to have a mentality to defend and get behind the ball and tackle. And so she showed, new sides to a game as well. And I thought, when you look at this tournament, she's probably one player who's really taken this opportunity to show everyone what she can do.
Except within these 3 Summer Cup games, you got 3 penalty shootouts. And I know heading into this game, heading into this tournament, you hadn't really practiced them because you'd never really been in them. But now, having that practice, having those pressure situations for the players that they've been in now, not just for, the future of penalty shootouts, but the future of just having those situations in real life, in real time. How much does that build the confidence and just build the attitude of the players from having these experiences?
No, I think it's massive. It's probably been a really good addition to this tournament as well. It could have been easy just, it's a tie at the end of the game and give both teams a point, but it's very difficult to replicate these pressure moments with a shootout. So, yeah, I think you know how I feel about practicing them. It's difficult to replicate them in practice, so to have it in a game where it actually means something, so you get an extra point, I think that does help the players to get that sort of experience. I only had one in my career, and it wasn't until I came here as well in US Open Cup, so I only had one opportunity. And I think for the players to have 3 opportunities with a cup competition, I think, like you said, it puts them in a good position and hopefully gives them confidence and what they can learn from as well moving forward.